The Community Building and Outreach Center, or CBOC, within the Sentinel Initiative, has developed informational videos in order to increase awareness and familiarity of Sentinel and its capacities. These videos are part of a broader set of engagement strategies that are outlined in the CBOC Master Plan, which can be found on the Sentinel Initiative website. The objective of today's informational video, Major Moments in the Development of Sentinel, is to learn about the origins of Sentinel and the 5 foundational challenges to setting up a distributed database system for pharmacoepidemiologic activities. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, established the Sentinel Initiative, Sentinel, to meet a mandate by Congress in the FDA Amendments Act of 2007, or FDA, to create a system to assess the safety of approved drug and biologic products. Sentinel was developed to address the following provisions from Section 905 of FDA. FDA mandated FDA collaborate with public, academic, and private entities in developing post-market risk identification and analysis methods to develop methods to obtain access to disparate electronic healthcare data sources, develop validated methods for establishment of a post-market risk identification and analysis system to link and analyze safety data from multiple sources with a goal of including at least 100 million patients by July 1st, 2012. And to convene a committee of experts from the public, academic, and private entities to provide recommendations on data privacy, security, development of analytic tools and methods for ethical and scientific uses for, and communication of, post-marketing data from the post-market risk identification and analysis system. Within 1 year after the development of the risk identification and analysis methods, FDA mandated FDA design and maintain a system for risk identification and analysis based on electronic health data in compliance with federal regulations, provide for active adverse event surveillance by using federal and private sector health-related electronic data, identify adverse event trends and patterns and provide regular reports with respect to data accessed by the system, enable the program to export data in a form appropriate for further aggregation, statistical analysis, and reporting, and ensure that data are accessed, analyzed, and reported in a timely, routine, and systematic manner. FDA presented legal, technical, methodological, and policy considerations for Sentinel's implementation. This led to a series of meetings with various stakeholders, facilitated by the Brookings Institution, and the commissioning of several publications designed to help shape Sentinel. Displayed is a timeline from 2007 to 2012 that highlights the meetings, workshops, forums, and articles that were conducted and published to advance the provisions in FDA. Experts within the scientific community were solicited to gain insights on drug safety, post-market evidence, methods, tools, and scientific operations, surveillance operations, patient and consumer engagements, among other topics. From these engagements, expert recommendations were formed on how to set up what would become the post-market surveillance system known as Sentinel. The provisions outlined in FDA led to 5 foundational principles, which informed the development of Sentinel's large, linked database system to assess and monitor post-market safety of drug and biologic products. Expert recommendations and insights on each of the principles were obtained through a series of stakeholder engagements. The 5 foundational principles to Sentinel are: 1. Engaging the scientific community. 2. Creating large study cohorts. 3. Ensuring data privacy. 4. Communicating findings effectively. And 5. Fostering public-private collaboration. Next, we will dive deeper into each of the 5 principles and how they were applied in developing Sentinel. The first principle, engaging the scientific community, emphasized the importance of and approaches to engaging various stakeholders. FDA called for inclusion of various stakeholder inputs and perspectives from the scientific community in developing an active post-market surveillance system. FDA approached engagement through multiple mechanisms. They convened over 12 workshops, roundtables, and forums, and commissioned several white papers from 2008 to 2012 with involvement from diverse audiences including academics, industry, consumers, and scientific journalists. They established an annual public workshop to keep the public informed about Sentinel, and later a public training and innovation day was added to further engage stakeholders. They established collaborative partnerships with external groups to serve as public conveners to effectively engage with scientific community. Overall, by engaging the scientific community, stakeholders from different backgrounds were able to provide valuable perspectives and inputs that directly informed the foundations of Sentinel. The second principle emphasized the importance of creating large cohorts to study rare events in a fragmented healthcare system to quickly assess safety concerns. In 2009, FDA awarded a contract to the Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare Institute to assemble a network, known as Sentinel Data Partners, of health insurers and integrated delivery systems that collectively had data on at least 100 million lives. A distributed data network was developed in which each data partner's data was kept behind their respective firewalls. Data partners generate a copy of their data that is then formatted into the Sentinel Common Data Model, SCDM. Sentinel's tools are a set of reusable, executable programs applied to the SCDM to address FDA's medical product safety questions. Tools can perform descriptive and adjusted analyses with control for confounding. When FDA plans an analysis in Sentinel, agency scientists work with the Sentinel Operations Center, SOC, to determine the analytic approach and study specifications. An associated program is then sent to the data partners. Each data partner then returns summary results to the SOC, which aggregates the findings for FDA. The third principle focuses on technical and legal challenges of data privacy and public health surveillance. With the large amount of data that contribute to Sentinel across multiple data partners, protection of patients' healthcare data has been essential since the earliest phases of Sentinel. Sentinel addressed data privacy considerations by adhering to all applicable state and federal laws, including HIPAA, FISMA, and NIST standards, establishing secure portals between each data partner and the SOC for communications, data checking, and query submissions to maximize privacy and security, allowing data partners to maintain complete autonomy over their data contributions for a query, ensuring data partners remove direct patient identifiers behind their own firewalls prior to sharing information with Sentinel, ensuring data provided by data partners are aggregate and adhere to the minimum necessary standard. Under the Common Rule, Sentinel is designated as a public health surveillance system. Thus, IRB approval is not sought when FDA conducts a new surveillance activity within the Sentinel system. The fourth principle focuses on the importance of effectively communicating about early findings with the potential for scientific results and outcomes to change in the future. Transparency is fundamental to the operations of the Sentinel system, with knowledge acquired from Sentinel activities placed in the public domain. Mechanisms were developed for timely communication to external stakeholders, including sponsors, patients, consumers, healthcare providers, data partners, scientists, and media, on the findings from Sentinel analyses through the Sentinel website, professional meetings, and scientific literature. Considerations were given on how to communicate and release findings early while taking caution on releasing journal publications in the face of uncertainty of Sentinel analyses and their implications. The Sentinel website, sentinelinitiative.org, evolved as a key communications platform regarding information about ongoing and completed safety analyses, keeping the scientific community and public informed about latest Sentinel findings and updates. Sentinel's findings provide one among many sources of information that FDA evaluates the risks and benefits of a medical product. Consideration of the entire body of evidence informs regulatory decision-making. Final foundational principle emphasizes the importance of and approaches to developing collaboration among public and private institutions. FDAA mandated that FDA establish an active post-market risk identification and analysis system in collaboration with public, academic, and private entities, including but not limited to national insurers, healthcare systems, and integrated delivery systems. As one single source of data would not be sufficient to address questions posed to Sentinel, the system was built upon access to diverse healthcare data. The Sentinel Operations Center, or the SOC, eventually developed to serve as the operations coordinator and has individual contracts with public and private data source partners who retain control of their own data. In addition, scientific collaborations with both public and private entities increase the breadth of scientific, technical, and organizational expertise, creating a network of experts that Sentinel can continuously leverage to advance public health surveillance. Now that we have reviewed the FDAA mandates for an active post-market surveillance system, the engagements that led to the foundational principles of Sentinel, and the details of the 5 principles, let's take a look at how Sentinel has evolved over the years. As highlighted previously, once Congress passed FDAA in 2007, the Sentinel Initiative was launched in 2008, and a series of engagements were conducted to inform approaches to Sentinel's development. In 2009, FDA launched the Mini Sentinel pilot program, reaching 100 million lives by 2011. By 2012, Mini Sentinel developed a suite of reusable programming tools for routine queries, expanding the usability and scalability of the distributed database. In 2016, the Sentinel system was launched by the Sentinel Operations Center, or SOC, which supports running queries, enhances core data sources and analytic tools, and advances the Sentinel Common Data Model and other infrastructure. In 2019, 2 centers were created to continue to advance Sentinel. The Innovation Center, or IC, was created to continue developing and evaluating innovative methods to further advance Sentinel. The Innovation Center was created to expand the safety questions that can be addressed by the Active Risk and Identification Analysis, or ARIA system. The Community Building and Outreach Center focuses on enhancing communications and collaborations and deepens stakeholder involvement. This new structure reinforces the core principles, engagement, communication, data infrastructure, and data privacy that Sentinel was founded upon. In order to continue expanding your awareness of Sentinel, we encourage you to stay engaged by visiting the Sentinel publicly accessible website, sentinelinitiative.org. There you can subscribe to the Sentinel quarterly newsletter to stay informed on Sentinel program updates, analyses, and methods and event information. View trainings on Sentinel data tools and other infrastructure and methods, and subscribe to the RSS feed to stay informed on updates made to the Sentinel website.